Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be recapping UFC 305, looking at the aftermath, matching up the winners, and some other shenanigans. Also, I didn't notice this. Look at DDP's fucking ear. Look at that shit. Do you guys see that shit right there? That is the worst cauliflower ear I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the first fight. Li Jingliang taking on Carlos, okay? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so for the sake of the viewers, I'm going to just be calling him Carlos. Anyway, holy fuck, this guy is good, right? I think John Anik or DC said like a minute before he got knocked out that the Leech had never been knocked out in his UFC career until he fought Carlos. But, then again, the Leech did have a long layoff, okay? He had a long layoff, might have had some ring rust in there, but damn, dude. Carlos has the reach, he has the power, he has the technique, he has the precision, he has the timing. This man is an excellent striker. So it didn't really seem like the skill gap for these two guys was that far apart until the finishing sequence. I'll say a minute before the finishing sequence, then we could definitely see the levels. But I mean, it looked like Leech was landing some good leg kicks and some good jabs. But other than that, Carlos with the KO TKO, I want to see him fight Rinat Fakhretdinov next. Now, I know that Rinat's hype has kind of dropped off a little bit, but really I want to see Carlos test his grappling because we know Rinat can strike. We know he's a twitchy, quick twitch fighter on the feet, and I want to see if Carlos can really stuff takedowns. I want to see if he can get back to his feet, be gassed, and still put the pace on in the later rounds, okay? Because this dude's on like a 10-fight finish streak, and they're all like TKOs. I want to see if this guy really has what it takes to go to the ground, because I've been seeing that people want, MVP versus Carlos, but if he starts getting chopped up on the feet by MVP, he can't be like Ian Gary and take him down. I want to see how his grappling is before throwing him into the top 10, top 15, top 10, top 12. So I want to see Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Carlos first. Now, I was going to, go in depth on this one a little bit and, give some analysis, but every heavyweight ranked outside of the top 5 is quite literally built the same. 27% body fat. And the fact that this fight went to a decision, I have no interest in it, so we're just going to be moving on to the next one, which is Fight of the Night. This fight was actually this shit was a war, right? Dan Hooker, low-key think Gamrot got robbed, which is funny, because I said that he was going to win this fight by fluky decision, but actually it was Dan Hooker that won by fluky decision. But don't get me wrong, I am not upset whatsoever. I would have preferred Dan Hooker to win this fight. Even though he did get a robbery, but nobody wants to talk about it. And also, I've seen people say that this proves that Gamrot isn't boring. Gamrot is still boring. First of all, this fight wasn't boring because Dan Hooker was stuffing takedowns. And when he did get took down, he was working his way up the entire time he was on the ground. And dude, he just made this a dogfight. Typical Dan Hooker style. Made this shit a dogfight. So this was easily the most entertaining fight of the entire night. Probably of this month thus far. But damn, I mean, Dan Hooker's kind of in a weird spot right now because he was in the top 5 of the lightweight division, 3-4 years ago? Now he's going to be back, as he should be. I hope he is. Gamrot's not getting a title shot, so I want to see Dan Hooker fight Justin Gaethje. I've been seeing that everywhere. I was thinking that as, the final seconds in the round were expiring, when they were just fucking throwing, I was like, Dan Hooker needs to fight Justin Gaethje, win or lose. And the fact that he won, that is essentially a title eliminator for both guys. Coming off a decision of Gamrot, and then if you beat Justin Gaethje, I mean, who else at lightweight is, after Arman, is fighting for the title again? I don't want to see Islam and Charles too. I want to see Charles get some money fights, get some entertaining fights, and call it a career. I don't want to see him get finished again. Because let's be real, Islam has improved miles since the Oliveira and Makhachev 1 fight. So let's not even act like that's not the case. Because I think Islam would finish Charles again, if not quicker, the second time. But yeah, I want to see Dan Hooker fight Justin Gaethje. I feel like that fight would be absolute violence, blood, gore, hands, fist, leather, chins everywhere. That's the fight I want to see. Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, title eliminator. You can make it like a fight night main event. Make it 5 rounds or something. Next up, the co-main event of the evening. Damn, dude, this shit hurt my heart watching Steve Usyk get absolutely fucking chicken-legged out there and then wobbled and squabbled. But fuck, dude. It's just, he does that disappointed face where, like, his dimples, he's got so many dimples, he's just like, and it just, fuck, dude, it just hits you right in the feels, you know what I mean? I really wanted Steve Usyk to win this one, but I low-key forgot how good Kai Kara-France is. I'm not even going to lie. I forgot how good that motherfucker is. Obviously, he should fight for the title next. Flyweight is so shallow, but the top 5 are all killers. That's the issue. I would say like top 3 to 4, including the champion, are all killers. Pantoja's a killer. Moreno's a killer. Kai's a killer. I mean, and it's not like Steve isn't a killer, but fuck, man, that's just when you're getting knocked out in the first round of a flyweight fight. And I know Kai Kara-France is a great striker, right? Great kickboxing, great boxing. I thought that Steve Usyk was going to win the boxing exchanges, but fuck was I wrong. He caught him a few times, but you need to catch him more than a few times to actually get up on Kai Kara-France. But yeah, I want to see Kai Kara-France fight for the title next. Obviously, that's the only way to go with these two. Steve Usyk, man, give him some bums. Give him some more Schnells, some more chinny flyweights. You know, build up his confidence a little bit because he obviously lost the fight to Pantoja, but it was because of a lack of experience, a lack of late-round fight IQ. So let him get more experience, build up his confidence. His career is far from over. Take some time and, you know, go from there. But, yeah, I see both of these guys are going to be a problem for this division for a long time. I still am on the Steve Usyk hype train. I don't care. I don't care that he got absolutely fucking chinned and sat down, okay? But anyway, Kai Kara-France fighting for the title next. Last but certainly not least, the main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this one was frustrating to watch. This was a hard watch if you're an Israel Adesanya fan, okay? Because he had DDP right where you wanted him. This dude was breathing out of both of his nostrils, his mouth, both of his ears. DDP was about to fucking pass out at the end of the second round. And Izzy was doing the right thing, digging to the body, throwing some hard body kicks. He had DDP gassed. But it's just after the second round, Izzy when Izzy fights, he starts off like this, huge, like, nice steady pace, and then as you hit the third round, it's this, and then it's just he tries to point fight after round 2, and that doesn't work. You can't do that when you're the contender. In order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. And I had DDP up 2-1 going into the fourth. If the fourth round would have ended, say DDP took him down, Izzy got right back up, and they kept going at it like they were, I would have had Izzy win in the fourth round. It would have came down to the fifth, but instead, turned his back to DDP, got a couple right hooks to the fucking jaw, gave up his back in 10 seconds, and got choked out in 4 seconds. Cried at a press conference. I mean, Izzy is... When Izzy is on, he is entertaining. He is a fun fighter to watch, but he's just not on a lot. He was on for the first Whitaker fight. He was on for the Gastelum fight. He was on for the second Pereira fight, or the fourth Pereira fight, however you want to look at it. He was on for the Costa fight. When he fought Marvin Vettori, twice? They were point battles. He was fucking pointing the shit out of Marvin Vettori. That it's not... As much as I hate to say it, no. I don't even hate to say it. Israel Adesanya at this point in his career is a point fighter. And I don't even think it's at this point in his career. I think it's always been he's just a point fighter. And Lucas Tracy said it perfectly. If Izzy's not knocking you out in the first 2 rounds, you're probably going to win the fight. Your chances of winning jump 75% if you make it out of the second round with this guy. And I gave Izzy round 3, I think. I gave DDP the first 2, Izzy round 3, which is if he's not the champion defending and he doesn't already have the first 2 rounds in the bag, I'm shocked that Izzy won the 3rd round and he was winning the 4th. But damn, it's a hard watch if you're an Israel Adesanya fan. Hopefully he doesn't fight for the belt again. I want to see Sean Strickland come in, some new middleweight contenders, please, because I'm not going to lie, if Izzy got the belt back, I probably would not have been, as interested in this division as I am now, because now, there's a new era. You have Dricus, Sean, can't even think of any other fucking middleweights right now. Nasruddin Imavov, Jared Cannonier, Cal Barajo, hopefully Cal, does good this weekend. Throw him in the title picture. But dude, I think so obviously Dricus and Sean is the fight that I want to see next, without a doubt. But I think, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Nasruddin Imavov is booked to fight right now, but he might not be. So I mean, when DDP and Sean fight, who is like the clear next guy? Because usually when you look at a lot of these divisions, you can find at least 1 to 2 guys that you can see fighting for the title after this fight. Like when I look at bantamweight, Sean and Marab, there's a Piotr Jan 2 rematch. Okay, Corey, there's Davis and Figueiredo, Song Yadong maybe at some point. You have all these guys that some of them are still coming up, like Peyton Talbot. Obviously, he's going to be ranked in the future. Give him a few more years. He's in the title picture. When you look at middleweights, there's really nobody outside of, it's like a same revolving door, and it has been that way for the past 6 to 7 years. You got Izzy and Rob. They kind of went back and forth, or at least, Rob arguably won the second fight. He's been in the title picture for the past 6 years. Other than that, Izzy's kind of essentially cleaned out the division, and it's at the point where, like, the guys that he fought are starting to, not look as good. Like Paulo Costa's last 2 fights. Low-key, I think he took Robert Whittaker. He had a closer fight with Whittaker than a lot of guys do, which I'll give him credit for. But, dude, Ikram Aliskerov getting knocked out by Robert Whittaker fucked up a lot of shit. I'm not going to lie. DDP he beat Whittaker, and, it wasn't a fluke, right? He didn't fluke knock him out, Izzy beat Rob twice. What I think you do is DDP, like, and Sean Strickland really pisses me off because him and Whittaker should have been for the #1 contender, but he didn't want to fight Whittaker. Now you got Hamzat and Whittaker, so I guess that makes things a little bit more interesting. If Whittaker beats Hamzat, he should get a title shot next. But if Hamzat beats Whittaker, I don't think he should get a title shot off Whittaker. I think he should fight Nasruddin Imavov. And I don't really think Nasruddin Imavov is anything special. Yeah, I want to see DDP fight Strickland next. And then as Izzy, he just needs to find his heart, man. He needs to find his heart. If he's losing a fight in the first 2 rounds, first 2-3 rounds, he tends to just give up and just point fight. He needs to learn how to actually look for a finish. And I get he's a counter striker, but he needs to really learn how to, like, actually look for a finish. I want to see Izzy fight, like, dude, I don't even know. Nasruddin Imavov versus Izzy, but I feel like that's not good enough for Izzy. He's an iconic, and as much as I hate to say it, he is an icon of the middleweight division. One of the greatest middleweights ever. You can't argue with that. I think right now, the biggest fight you can make with Izzy is Yuri and Izzy. But I don't want to see Yuri move down. I want to see Izzy move up. Give him some time. Put that weight on correctly. Izzy could be huge at 205. Maybe give him a new life or something. I don't know. But yeah, Yuri and Izzy, but not at 185. I want to see it at 205. And then DDP and Strickland for the belt. But anyways, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon.